Hi, I'm Adam Lane Smith, an attachment specialist, and today I want to teach husbands how to cut through the crap and have a great conversation with your wife. Now that sounds terrifying and challenging to some people. A lot of men, we struggle to communicate with our wives because men and women tend to communicate for different reasons. Men tend to communicate to find solutions to problems. If there's no problem, then there's no need to communicate. We may communicate to share some passion that we're feeling. We might want to talk about a hobby. We share, we teach, but we don't communicate just for the sake of experiencing connection to another person. Women typically do. They communicate to share experiences, to bond, to connect, and to compare notes. Women communicate for a lot different reasons than men do. So then those two beings have to get married. Women also share communication to express trust. The more you're willing to connect to somebody and the more you're willing to share with them about yourself, the more open and vulnerable you are to that person. So communicating is a means of showing and building trust. Now for men, that sounds a little foreign. It sounds confusing. When you get married and the man doesn't communicate much because he says, well, there's no problem. Why would I talk to you? The message he's sending is, I don't trust you and you're not both worth building a connection with. You have to speak to the other partner in the way that they expect. The other side of that coin is that a lot of women try to talk to their husband and build that connection with him without recognizing that that's not how men communicate. So it sounds foreign. So a lot of women communicate with their husband the way they would communicate with another woman, and they have the same expectations for their husband's communication that they would have for another woman. And then they perceive his communication, sometimes his lack of communication, the way that they would perceive a lack of communication from another woman. It's mismatched expectations. And until you talk about them and fix them, there's that, it's going to go on and on and on. And this leads to a lot of frustration between men and women, unfortunately. In marriages, they don't have to be this way, but they many of the times are. I'm going to share the secret that I share with a lot of men, about that communication. And it's this. The more your wife talks to you, the better it is. If she's not talking to you, there's probably a serious problem. But the more she's talking to you, when you come home from work and she wants to go on and on and on about her day, about how she ate a piece of toast and she painted her toenails and she shares the weirdest information with you, and you look at her and say, what on earth are you telling me this for? It means that she's close to you. And the worst thing you can do is reject that. But you won't know what she's doing. If you don't know what she's doing or why she's doing it, you don't know how to respond. So the best tip I have for husbands is this. When your wife starts talking and talking and talking to you, it means she loves you. You need to just put up your hand and say, I love that you're talking to me. It's awesome. I am always listening for problems to solve. I just need you to tell me real quick. Do you just want me to listen or do you need me to solve a problem? 9 times out of 10, she is going to say, no, I just want you to listen. And you say, oh, okay. In your head, that's the problem to solve. Click. Just click that in place. The problem to solve here is that she needs to be listened to and that she wants to connect. And doing this will help her feel closer. That's her need. Meet her need. Don't just do it because you hate it. You can enjoy the conversation. At least try. No, you in time will learn to enjoy the conversation, and she'll pull that out of you. But the first step is to learn to click that into place. This is a problem to solve. I'm solving it by listening. And then that will help your brain, instead of wandering off into la-la land while she's talking, that will help your brain focus, because now you're solving a problem by listening to her. You are really listening, so you can get really intense with the eye contact. No, don't do that. That'll scare her to death. But really listen and solve that problem of her need to be listened to and to share. In time, I have other ways. My very first video on this YouTube channel was how to master conversation and defeat social anxiety. There's branching questions in there. There's motivational interviewing. If you need to learn how to carry a conversation with your wife so she doesn't feel like she's just talking at you for 2 hours, that'd be a great video to go watch. Very first video on this. It's got these weird slides and everything. It's really weird. That would be a great place to start. That'll help you have conversations. You can also just Google motivational interviewing. That will help. The more you can do this, the deeper connection you can build with your wife according to her female bonding style, the average female. Different neurologies may differ. Results may vary. But the majority of male and female connections, this is how it works. So you need to click that into place. Ask. When she's talking, just say, hey, I'd love to listen to you. I just need to know, are you wanting me to solve a problem or just listen? That's it. That's all it takes. And she will probably say, just listen. And you say, okay, click. Problem solved. Let me solve it. And then you listen. And you just listen and you talk. Wow, that's fascinating. At the end of it, she will feel listened to. And then she'll start asking you questions. Start giving answers. One-word answers, not great. Details are what she's kind of listening for. She's listening for you to want to talk to her and want to share details. So do it on purpose. Share some details on purpose. Again, in your mind, initially you're going to say, this is pointless. Why is she doing this? Why am I telling her the color of my friend's socks that he wore today? But to her, it's bonding. So solve that in your mind. Make that a problem to solve. Make her bonding a problem to solve. That is the best way to do this. The best way. Now, for women who are in this circumstance, recognize that this is foreign to most men. It's not that he's not talking to you because he doesn't love you or doesn't want to talk to you. He probably is not talking to you because he says, well, there's no problem. Why would I talk to her? And that sounds stupid to a lot of women, but that is how a lot of men think. Sometimes we get wrapped up in our own projects. We get wrapped up in our own head and we just don't think. And it looks like we're mad at you. Because that's how another woman would act. If she was mad at you, she wouldn't speak to you. She'd avoid eye contact. She'd just be in her head the whole time. That's just not how men work. So recognize that this is foreign. Have a little sympathy. And women, when you feel the urge to talk to your husband, wonderful. Wonderful. It would be helpful beforehand to say, hey, I don't need you to solve anything. I would just really like you to listen to me. Could you just listen to me, some of my frustrations about work today? Oh, yeah, that's easy. Have some pity on him and give him that. That can get you instant buy-in because he will just settle in. He will relax into the conversation instead of looking like he's ready to pounce. And he won't overrun you, constantly giving you feedback on what you should do. Every sentence you say, whoa, no, wait. And he's trying to throw solutions at you. He's doing that because he loves you. When men give solutions to somebody else and teach, it's a sign of love. It's a sign of respect. It's a sign of actually caring enough to give you their time and attention to help you solve a problem. It sounds like they're just stampeding over you. It's because they don't recognize that you just want to be listened to. So, give the clear expectations about what you want in that conversation for men. If you do this, if couples practice this for a few months, it starts to become automatic. It starts to become, oh, yeah, she just wants to be listened to. Okay, she'll ask me if she wants a solution. It starts to be, oh, he's not mad at me. He just has no idea what I want from him. I should just ask. If you can build that relationship, build that communication, we call it meta communication, communicating about the communication. If you could build that into your relationship, you will have so much more success in your bonding experience. That will help tremendously because he's helping you solve a problem by listening, and you are bonding to him by sharing. And again, go back and watch the first video on my channel. It's all about motivational interviewing. It's about how to keep a conversation going. It's about how to listen in an active, engaged manner instead of slumping in your chair with your eyes glazed. That will also help big time. But this is the number one secret to maintaining a healthy relationship after you've solved all the other problems. I hope this has been helpful. I'm Adam Lane Smith, an attachment specialist. And if this has been helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the channel when you do that. Until next time.